He's been singing for well over 40 years, and though we might not have a household name here in Philadelphia, he's got a brand new CD that is really busting wide open. He's a pioneer gospel singer. He's been with many, many groups, and we are very proud today to be in the presence of none other than Mr. Tommy Ellison. Good morning, Tommy.
Good morning. How you feel?
Feeling great. Now, we got a lot to cover here, a lot to cover. I will confess, as I told you earlier, I have never seen you in person actually perform, but it's been incredible that you have survived. And when I say survive, not many survive. You have many who start out and go along the roadside and last for a while, but you have survived. I'm looking at a new CD, but then I found something recently that has just been reissued on the Harmonizing Four, and lo and behold, I'm looking at thank God they put the name of the lead singer on there. It said Tommy Ellison. Wait a minute. How far back do you go?
Mr. Linwood, I go back a long time. That was back in the 50s when I was with the Harmonizing Four. I did that song about the Lord picked me up and turned me around, placed my feet on solid ground. Glad I found the Lord.
Were you a little boy, young man?
Oh, I was very young then.
Teenager?
Yeah, teenager, back long. And then me and Sam Cooke was the two youngest lead singers on the road. He was a little bit older than me. Me and Sam Cooke was the two youngest lead singers on the road.
You had a flyer here, and it says Tommy Ellison and the Singing Stars from Brooklyn.
That's right.
But now, are you really from Brooklyn?
No, I'm not. I'm just like Willie Neal Johnson. You know, I'm a country boy. I'm from South Carolina.
Greensboro, not Greensboro. What part?
Down around Columbia, Aiken area.
Okay, Aiken, South
I was
Carolina.
born in Aiken County.
Aiken County. What year?
1932. 1932.
Got a few years on.
September the 15th.
September 15th. When you started out, who was out there? Who inspired you?
My favorite artist who inspired me was groups like the Dixie Hummingbirds, Pilgrim Travelers, Harmonizing Four, groups like that inspired me.
Were they a cappella when you saw them, Tommy?
The Harmonizing Four, they had 4-string guitar, no drums or nothing, just no electric guitar, just 4 strings.
Now, the Soul Stirrers were the first to come out with the guitars, with music.
No, I believe it was the Swanee Quintet.
They're all trying to take claim for this now. JJ said they were the first.
Yeah.
I talked to Charlie Barnwell 2 years ago, and I kind of think he said he was the first.
Yes, and the Swanees, they're the first group that I heard come out with electric guitar and
Okay.
and had what you call a tremolo.
Oh, okay. Okay. When you started out, Tommy, the first group that you sang with down there in South Carolina, or did you have a family group?
Well, I sung with a group in South Carolina called the Staley Brothers, from the area down there.
Were they all brothers?
They was all brothers.
Except you?
Except me. Sung with the Staley Brothers back long, and then wasn't but 2 groups in the area really, was the Swanee Quintet and the Staley Brothers.
Now, all right, South Carolina is next to Georgia.
That's right.
Let me get my geography together here. Okay. Were you raised up in a church down there?
Yes, Smyrna Baptist Church. I grew up in the church. I had my grandmother and grandfather raised me, and they was very strict. I don't know nothing but church, and I love the Lord because they embedded that in me.
Did you have to go to church every Sunday or during the week, or when?
Oh, I had to. I had to go to church. Well, back then, you know, we would go every Sunday. You know, every Sunday.
Back home hour in the evening?
Yeah, back home hour in the evening.
Why is it that some people as children who are more or less forced to go to church, and then they get a certain age, Tommy, some will hang in there, and some just go away and say, when I grow up, I'm not going to church no more. You ever have people say that?
Of course. And, it was something about me that didn't have to force me to go. I wanted to go.
But, I mean, it was hot. You had to go. You couldn't play. You didn't know what was going on, did you? Or did they have good singing or preaching or?
Oh, well, I sung on the choir a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I was a kid, but I would be up there, clapping my hands.
Okay. Did you lead any songs?
No, I didn't lead no songs. I just be up there, a little small kid, just was in me, I just like I said, they didn't have to force me to go to church. Something that I was dedicated to all my life.
How long did you stay with the Staley brothers?
Briefly. It wasn't too long. And then I went with Madam Nightingale.
Were you an only child, or you have brothers and sisters?
Only child. You
are an only child?
I'm an only child. I have a young man that we just like brothers. His father and my father was brothers, and we are just like brothers. He produced Patti LaBelle now.
What's his name?
Bud Ellison.
He's like your play brother, Bud Ellison.
Yeah, he's my first cousin.
Really?
His father and my father
was
brothers, and
we
just like
from?
brothers. He's from South.
Where does he live at now?
He live in Philly.
I thought so.
Yeah, he live in Philly where Patti live.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You leave the Staley brothers and you join up with the Singing Sons.
No, at Madam Nightingale Cook.
But then her background fellows were called the
Singing Sons. That's right. You're right. You're right.
My God, she had a lot of singing sons. Oh. Willie Banks.
That's right, Willie Banks.
Johnny Jones.
You name it.
Now, when you were, who were there when you were there?
Willie Banks was there.
Really?
And Bob Crutcher. I just can't remember all of them, but a lot of them.
Now, how did you get to be a singing son? She didn't just walk up and say, "Hey, little boy, I want you to sing with me."
Well, I met. I don't know. I really forgot. How I met. I met her husband, Mr. Barney Parks.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Barney Parks sang with the Dixie Hummingbirds.
He's one of the originals.
Right. I got a picture. I should have brought you that picture. I got a picture when he was young men, very, very young, and his picture's on it. Nice looking man.
Yes. By the way, he's in Henderson, North Carolina. That's where he live at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Somewhere down the line, I just can't remember now, that I met Barney Parks,
mm-hmm.
and that was his wife.
And I think he sang with someone else before he went with the Birds. I have to look on the back of some of these albums.
Familiar. And I sung with Madam Cook. And
what was she like?
I
always wanted to meet her.
Oh, she was a lady that undescribable.
Everyone says that. Very meek, very humble.
Very humble. And
very unique voice. I listened to her. I spent an afternoon playing like 3.5 hours of her early music, and the songs had such depth and such meaning to them.
Oh, well, she, like I say, you don't meet ladies like her every day. And when she said she was a Christian, she was that.
I really believe that about her.
Yes, she was that.
Very sweet, little humble lady, and very attractive lady, too.
That's right. And I left.
Are you on any of her records?
Well, yes, I was background.
Do you remember any of the recordings you did with her? God, she has so many records.
I think I'm on the one where she naming out the cards.
Stop Gambler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Stop Gambling, and I believe I'm on the one she did at the Gate. That's why I inspired
you were on your own by that point.
Yeah.
You had your own albums. You couldn't have been on there at that point. My God, that was back in that was one of her last albums.
At the Gate.
You were famous your own self with your own group then.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you couldn't have been on that one. But she has some incredible records. I mean, 7 Steps to Hell.
Yes, right.
She has some dynamite lyrics that she put together, really. The Lord must have really been dealing with her.
Yes, and that I believe that card thing would stop gambling.
Stop gambling. I wouldn't play those cards no more.
Yeah, right. And we was working with the Nightingales then, back then, in Tampa, Florida. The Nightingales asked me would I be interested in singing with them.
Now, this always sort of amazes me. Here they see you singing with somebody, and it's stealing you from somebody else to come join up with them. Were they shorthanded?
Well, they were shorthanded. Back then, I replaced Reverend Julius Cheeks. You know, you remember when he had went with the Soul Stirrers. He had left them.
For a hot moment, to make that one record, I'm All Right Now.
Yeah, he went with the Soul Stirrers. I think he was with them for about, I imagine he was with the Soul Stirrers about 2 or 3 years.
Really? And Johnny Jones sang with him, too. Charlie told me.
Yeah, Johnny Jones sang with them. And they got me to replace Reverend Cheeks. And when Reverend Cheeks come back, then...
But wait a minute. If they got you to replace him as a lead singer?
As a lead singer.
To go behind June Cheeks?
Oh, I had something to go behind, didn't I?
I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch that. I don't think nobody want to go between him and Archie Brownlee. I wouldn't want to go behind either one of them.
It was hard. It was hard. It was hard.
Were they? And they were recording at that time?
Yes.
Or were they a cappella?
On Peacock.
All right, because I have Vacant Room in Glory. Remember that?
Yes.
I'm Pressing On.
I'm Pressing On. Back long and then, we had a song called Lord, I Want to Be a Christian in My Heart. Ernest James.
Right. You know, they reissued those things.
Yeah.
They've been reissued. Were they a cappella then, Willie? I mean, Willie. Boy, it's too early in the morning for me. Tommy, were they